Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now this week, or this video I should say, we are focusing on what guidance do you need per your moon sign. So what sign the moon was in at the time of your birth. If you do not know, I highly suggest that you go to www.astro-chart.com and you can put in your information and look up your birth chart there, and you will find all of your information. Now, this is set up with elements, so earth signs, water signs, fire signs, and air signs. And first, I would like to start with our moon earth signs. So if your moon is in this sign of Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, all right? Now, we have the Six of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Devil, the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Earth, and Thought. Okay, and what I'm seeing here is that you are really in the space to be moving to like a peaceful, like stable and secure place. I don't feel like with this Six of Swords it's all just mental. I feel like it is in the physical too. I feel like you have this need to physically and mentally move to a more like peaceful and like secure placement. Okay, and we see there's a very, very intense energy or want or connection to this, like want or need to just kind of go full steam ahead and kind of just go and obtain this this new positioning of peace and like security again in the mental and in the physical. And I feel like within looking at the Page of Wands is that you're kind of like looking at some things, you're kind of looking around, but you haven't embarked on this journey yet. You're kind of like looking for and looking towards, maybe not looking for, but looking at and looking towards for this peaceful security again in the physical and in the mental state. Okay, when looking here we see the Devil card and the Five of Pentacles, and within this all I can see is people looking around for something that they can't find, something that is maybe supposed to be there or that they think that is supposed to be there that's just kind of not. They're just kind of like lost looking around. All right, and not to say that the Devil rules illusion, but it rules like kind of being in a space where we're not seeing clearly, and there is a level of emotion to that. So there's just like things might be tumultuous for you right now, and it's like you're looking for something and you just can't find it. Even if it is there, you literally just can't find it because there's something that's blocking you from being able to see, or something that's standing over or crowding over it. It's kind of like when you're looking for your keys and you're looking everywhere and everywhere and everywhere and everywhere, and they're on the table and you've looked at the table 30 times, and then your significant other or your kid or whatever walks in the room, they're like, these keys right here, they've been on the table the whole time, and you're like, no, they weren't. They were not, because you were looking too hard and it was in like in a frantic place, right? So within this we have the Ace of Earth. All right, and I feel like you're in a place of like new growth or new potential energy where you're kind of like growing something for yourself in the physical. Okay, so I feel like this is like the seed to start, or like the fire that is lit to grow this like stability, like stable, secure peace that you're looking for mentally and in the physical. And also we have to look at our thought. Okay, our thought is ideally our intention, and we have to look at this. And one, we have the energies of growth here, so we have to be setting some sort of intention of what it is that we want, because you're not going to, this frantic looking that you're doing or this frantic searching that you're doing is for this security because you just want to obtain it, isn't going to get you any closer to it, because that that like fight or flight energy. Maybe it's some anxiety mixed in with some fear of, the unknown, or whatever the case may be, and that there's a lot of change and again, tumultuous energy that is going on in the physical. So since there is this like uprooting and tumultuous energy that's kind of going on, that's keeping you from being able to see what it is, or see like this thing, or whatever the case is, whatever it is that you're looking for or trying to obtain, that we have to start like setting this intention. And I don't want to say like rigorously, but I want to say like thoroughly. It's not always just like looking for these opportunities in the physical. It's setting the intention that you are going to find these opportunities and then coming across them in the physical. Okay. So there's something that has to be grown. So this isn't something that you might even find right away. You have to focus on what it is, like this picture of what it is, like, is it a house that's security? Is it, security in your partnership that, has to do with the physical because it's something that you're going through in the physical, whatever the case may be, that you have to set this seed and you have to focus on it with your thought and with your intention, and like will it into existence. And it's like the combination of using your feminine energy of your will to create and your masculine energy of your will and force to bring it into the physical world. But I do want to say that we want it to be balanced. We don't want it to be like too much of that creative flow energy that just lets things be what they will, and we don't want too much force and too much control on it either. We have to have balance. So make sure that there is balance. And I also want to say, like, we have to have balance, one, because balance is always good, but two, if things aren't balanced, then it's going to cause more upheaval for you, because my earth moon signs like to be balanced in a place of clear-headedness and very grounded. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for my earth moon signs, to really, really focus on the intention of what it is that you want, and maybe take a step back from the franticness or the anxiety. I know it might be harder than what it is like that you're anticipating, but you really have to take the time to focus on setting this intention and focusing on manifesting that. Okay. Now for my water moon signs, so if you are a Scorpio moon, a Pisces moon, or a Cancer moon, all right, we have the 8 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Chalices, which is the Queen of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 6 of Earth, and the 7 of Water. Okay. Now what I'm seeing here is that you've kind of put a lot of focus or energy into work or busy work. Okay. And I feel like this is because you're really trying to, I don't want to say like overcompensate, but kind of deal with, or like kind of the lack thereof, dealing with some of the emotions that you've been having, because they've been quite heavy. So it's kind of this like thing where you're just working and keeping busy, so you're kind of keeping your mind off of this like emotional turmoil that's kind of going on within you, or like it's feeling like you're kind of like almost like you're in like a tornado, or like there's just like a spiral of like water going on around you, but it's really within you, but that's what it feels like on the outside, if that's making sense. And things have been really heavy and hard for you to kind of just like be able to push through. Not saying that you haven't been doing it and that you haven't been doing a good job. It's just been weighing really, really hard on you. And I feel like this is affecting you in the physical as well. It might not be affecting your workflow, but it's kind of affecting how you like, how fast you're able to move, how like quick-witted you are, things like that. Okay. Now, when looking at the Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands, I kind of see you just sitting here in a place of like, this is what I want. This is what I want things to look like. This is how things are supposed to be. In this, like, this vision that it's like encompassed with structure and stability. And the Four of Wands has been popping up throughout all of my videos nonstop. Like, it's insane how much I've seen this card in the past 2 weeks. But anyways, I feel like within this card, it's like this innocence enough of like, this is purely what I want from my heart. And it's like, this is the vision of what it looks like. This is where I'm going to be happy. This is what it looks like when I'm going to be happy. All right. And honestly, I feel like there's some hard truths that you need to kind of sit with. And it's not even maybe that they're hard truths. It's kind of like some truths that you might be reluctant to. And it's not even truths as in secrets. It's more truths in about the way things work. Okay, and I've been saying like there's a really, and with my water signs, my water, like, you know, sun signs and moon signs, I don't know what it is, but there's a really big energy of rigidness that, and like for your vision of how it is that you want it to look. And I feel like it's because you're very, very emotionally connected to that. But I feel like there's a really big part of you that needs to kind of slow down, like, well, wait a minute, and understand again your emotions, because we've been working to avoid them and kind of just carrying on and moving on and just focusing on what it is that we want things to look like and how things are not what it is that they look like. And I feel like one that you need to take a step back and kind of relax. I don't want to say relax your vision, but I feel like you need to relax your rigidness on everything needs to look and go just like this. And it's like you see they're in like, you know, like the way that they're just in order and they're sitting, and then even the little boy is standing up with structure, and then there's these beams up pointed upward in structure behind them. And although this card has to do with celebration and family happiness, and I think that that's a big part of it, is family happiness, or the happiness that you have within your family, even if it's not like a family and it's like your friends that are family or whatever the case may be. But anyways, within this, I feel like you need to take a step back on some of the rigidness, and I feel like you need to fall in line with some of the things that make you feel good or what it is that you like to do. And also, and this is because, and it's very connecting with like earth matters and kind of grounding. And I feel like also when you connect with the earth, whether you're putting your hands on the earth or your feet on the earth, we have like energy orifices, they're called chakras, in our hands and our feet as well. We have them all over our bodies and our ears. They're just not as widely known as the 7 main ones that we have, but we have multiple. You can even look it up. But anyways, connecting with the earth, when you have this energy transference, when you're touching trees and you're touching the earth and you're getting your hands in the dirt or your feet in the dirt or whatever the case is, that you are, the earth is helping you transfer some of that anxious emotion, and it's like like you're helping the earth and the earth is helping you. That's why you feel better when you literally hug a tree or walk with no shoes on or whatever the case may be. Okay, so one, connecting with earthly energies, doing things that you like to do outside in nature can help you kind of get out like I feel like some of that consumingness. Okay, and also with this card, I'm really focused in on the chains behind him. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they're back here, right back here. And within this, I kind of see like you are only bound to serve people and be of service and do all of these things that you've been doing for others. When you bind yourself, if you can see, he's holding the key himself, but we also often forget that we are not necessarily bound to serve others, especially when we're not in an emotionally stable place, and that you need to kind of like loosen those chains and take some time to connect with the earth and kind of let things flow, kind of be in a place where I want to say like you let in some joy and just kind of like let the breeze of the wind like flow past you, and really like let your, I don't want to say let your emotions flow, because there you've got a lot and you probably should not do that unless you're like by yourself, you know, or like in a safe place where you can kind of like let those out or whatever. But it's kind of just like flowing with the way that, I don't want to say the way that things are, but it's kind of a part of like surrendering to that, knowing that things will turn out good, and to just relax and connect and stop, I don't want to say stop focusing so much, because there's this inner battle of like trying to avoid, and then there's this battle of your emotions being too hard. But just kind of relax for a minute and take a step back. It's time for you to kind of get out of your head and really connect with your surroundings and the physical, and actually feel, like surrender to the point where you can feel this joy where you're not so consumed, okay? And that is what I'm seeing for my water moon signs. Again, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Now, fire moon signs. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, Wisdom, and the Eight of Fire. Now, what I'm seeing for my fire moon signs is I'm kind of feeling like when I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles, I'm kind of feeling like you're in need, and that you're not really getting the full help that you need. Like there may be someone that's kind of like around, or not even like around, like you might be feeling like somebody else is getting the resources that you need, or that other people are just so much more willing to help others, and you're kind of in a place where like you really need some help right now. And it's like you're almost like not begging for it, but you're like asking harder than you feel like you should have to try to. And it's kind of like, I kind of feel like on the inside, you're kind of just trying to keep it together. You might be feeling more falling apart on the inside than you're letting it out out in your exterior. But the thing is that there is a big emotional buildup, and we have the Ace of Wands. This emotion is coming through. It's gonna come through. It's gonna come through like a floodgate. All right, and I feel like this is because what it is that you are almost like not going up against, almost what you're going up against, what it is that you have to deal with is like an immovable force that is in strength, that is just kind of put in your way, that you have to deal with it. So you're going to have to, I don't want to say like deal with your emotions, but they're coming regardless. They're going to come through. And we also know that when we're looking at fire signs and we're looking at the emotions coming through, they can also a lot of times kind of spew out in anger, because that is energy or emotion that is more comfortable to deal with. Okay. And it's kind of what is exerted out, first. For a lot of us, even if we're not fire signs, but for fire moon signs particularly. So there's this force that it's a very strong force. It's very troubling that you're come across. So within this, there is the King of Swords saying that you need a plan, and the plan needs to be very well thought out and almost like making sense in a logical way. And when we have the Queen of Wands, again, the Queen of Wands here, we kind of see her just kind of like taking things off and moving them. And it's almost like, almost for like rearranging. All right. So there's a level of having a plan and it be logical, but also being in a place where you're strong enough to kind of like rearrange things as they go. So if you come against an issue that seems like an obstacle, you're not just giving up. There's like this passion that's connected to it that you're able to rearrange and and like move through. And it's the energy of like you had this plan, but it's also being open, like also I don't know if it's like plan A, B, and C, but it's like there's room for alteration. So you don't have to come up with a whole foolproof plan again. When I'm looking at the Queen of Wands, all it's coming through is that she's very, very receptive. So when you see or you feel like something needs to be changed within your plan or what it is that you are doing to try to beat this obstacle or get past this obstacle that you are currently moving through, that you are able to, like, the Queen of Wands is very receptive, so it's almost like an intuition, or it's like having that being connected to that intuition of knowing, okay, this is how we have to alter it. It's like when you are like at war and you have to kind of, I don't want to say compromise, but like you kind of have to go with the flow of what it is that you are presented, and that that energy for having things to be like open to be able to be altered. And this is for the whole point of success. This is the whole point of success, that you have a plan, but you're kind of flexible so you can achieve what will work. Okay, and that is very, very important, because we're looking at a very strong fixated energy that is not moving. When you look, like there's a cement slab that her throne is sitting on, and the sunflower itself here is symbolizing her undying strength, and her yellow dress here is also symbolizing, not only is she very passionate and outgoing and extroverted, she is very smart as well. Okay, that's why we need a plan, but we need to be able to have the same kind of energy that our opponent has, in the way that we can be strong, at the same time receptive and changeable. Okay, so this is also another symbolism of like our masculine and feminine energy working within our logic and like cold hard facts, but also with the receptiveness of the real world and what you have to do within a situation, and to be able to fluently change that. Okay, now looking at the wisdom card, this is saying that whilst this is happening, one, before you are looking at your plan that you are trying to create to get past this obstacle or this force that is in your way, that there is a level of needing to step back. Like you can see she's kind of like in like outside of a cave, or like in the inside of a cave. I can't really tell where she is, but anyways, there's this light that she's shining, and it's showing that there is a level of needing to separate yourself and look at the whole situation and everything that is going on, and that there is lessons to be learned here and things to be gained. And when I say lessons to be learned here and things to be gained, because this here for you is a point of transformation. This card represents the birth of oneself after we've kind of been burned in the ashes of like the fire pertaining to the rebirth of the phoenix. Okay, so there's a very big transformation here. When we're looking here, that this number 8, the number 8 is the number of transformation and energy always changing and evolving. Okay, and literal fire. So you're being changed, you're being molded, things are being burned away from you, and other things are being incinerated and ingrained during this process. Okay, so it's very, very, very important that you understand that as well. There's going to be things that you prove to yourself within this whole mess, and there's going to be things that fall away, and you're going to come out stronger and on top. Annoying as all of this is a really big pivotal moment for not just your transformation, but the rebirth and evolution of who you are as a person within strength, of what it is that you can handle and what it is that you cannot. And it's almost like feeling like you've been like born into this new person after everything is said and done. Okay, and that is what I'm seeing for my fire moon signs. For my air moon signs, we have the Justice card, the Ten of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Star card, the Two of Fire, Perception, and the Ten of Air. Now, when I'm seeing this is that it's almost like you're in a place where you're asking for balance or justice to be called on your level of happiness and like your happy ever after. I feel like there's some confliction within your emotional body. There's some stuff that you're dealing with emotionally as far as things that have gone wrong and kind of wanting to pick them back up and put water back in them or put things back in them and refill them. But there's also a piece of you that is kind of like, but I have these two over here and they're a little bit different and maybe I'll try this out. But there is a confliction here because of the fact that you're not picking up the cups or going over and refilling them. And you're not going over and trying to pick up like these other cups. There's again a level of indecisiveness here of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. All right. And what it is, and it's what is it that you're supposed to be doing as far as that'll bring you happiness? Do you keep trying the same old tired way that you have been, or do you try something different? Do you try something new? Do you try to take a new avenue? Okay, and this is like there's this confliction for change within you. All right, when we see the Five of Swords, this is coming up where you're really in a place where you want to really be the one calling the shots and finally standing up for yourself, like where you were this person that was really looking for things on the ground to come to you, and now you're in the place where I'm just going to take these fuckers because I've been waiting and nobody has rang me up yet and I'm done. Okay? But there's also a level of faith going into this, because when we claim what it is that we want and we claim like we've been waiting for it, or it's just like we're just deciding that we're not going to be the one that's, you know, pushed over or taken advantage of, that there's a level of faith that has to happen that things are going to work out. And again, there's like a level of the defense that you're on as well. So within this, I feel like, and this is part of the advice cards, guys, I feel like it's time for you to kind of just stand up and stop being somebody that's walked on. And I don't mean that people are actually like treating you poorly or pushing you over or anything like that. I'm talking about, and this is a lot for my Libra moons too, because especially I feel like this is really a big part that's pertaining to you, because and possibly the Aquarius moons too, because there's a big level of wanting to keep the peace, right? And that's a big part of the problem of why you've been waiting so patiently for your turn. I'm gonna wait until it's my turn, And Spirit's like, honey, it's been your turn. Take that shit. Take it. It's been sitting there. And I say that because things work differently in the spirit realm than they do here. I'm not saying to like, you know, steal or anything like that, but I'm just saying like within your opportunities, you're waiting for something to knock on your door, and it's like, honey, go get it. Go take it. Go take it. It's been your turn. It has been your turn. Start putting yourself out there the way that you need to be put out there to be received, because it's been your turn, honey. It's been your turn. Have faith. You don't have to start like be so rigid or cut things short before they come into you, because, and this is a part of like blocking out what it is because you don't trust it, right? And because it's like it could be good but it could be not, so we're not sure, like there's a level of indecisiveness there. Stop doing that. Stop being so indecisive about what it is that you want because of what could potentially go wrong as well. Because that's a part of you not being at the forefront to take your opportunity when it comes, because you're like, oh, what if this is bad? What if I have a backlash on this? What if this doesn't work out for me? You have to have some faith. have some faith. Okay? Because, and also, all right, so we're having faith and we're finally standing up for ourselves, but also this is a time that we're being called to merge ourselves. Okay? We see the duality here within this card, and this is the Two of Fire, and this is depicting two people that look exactly the same but are very, very different. One is dressed in orange / yellowish and the other one is in red. This is depicting, and then their hair is braided together. This is the merging of the two different sides, the two different thoughts, right? The polarities that live within every Gemini moon, every Aquarius moon, and every Libra moon, because there's polarities in every single one of those. All right, so we're merging these sides together. We're not saying you're bad or you're good. We're saying that we're merging these effing energies together. The good, and I don't want to say bad, but the good and the passive, and the good and the assertive. Okay, I'm not saying that it's, one's bad and what, like the assertive might be in a placement of bad because people don't like it, but whatever. And here again, lying within here, this is your perception. This is a perception. It might not just be your perception, but it is a perception. Okay, and within every high reigning air sign, there is a duality. It does feel like there's two people living within you, okay? And we have to merge these two pieces of ourselves for the full transformation of our authentic self, of who it is that we are supposed to be and supposed to come into be. So one, we have to stand up and claim what is rightfully ours and have faith. And we're not playing this game of what if this happens or what if this happens, so we're cutting things out, or we're not just waiting our turn, because that's what nice little Libras do. That's what nice little Aquariuses do. We're not going to talk about Geminis because they don't care. And they're just going to take it. Not necessarily. There's a good side too, but when they get fed up, they might be the ones that are more reluctant to just go ahead and be like, fuck you. But anyways, it's time that you almost like stop fighting against this like good versus bad or identity issue, because sometimes you feel very extroverted, sometimes you feel very introverted. Some days you might feel very light and sociable, some days you might feel very dark and pessimistic, because there is so much duality, because so much balance lives within inside of you. But it's time to accept that within yourself and really merge within that, merge your assertiveness and your niceness, because it's time for you to stand up. You don't and let go of the perception that this potentially could be bad. But yes, it could potentially be bad, but it could potentially be good too. So, and look out, what it is that, like, this happiness that you're trying to get to. Don't cut off things that could bring you to happiness and the justice and the balance of your happiness, okay? Because what if this could go bad? What if it could go wrong? Well, there's a lot of what ifs, but that stops us from being able to do what it is that we want to do. And of course, this is fear that we're talking about. But if you don't merge and connect and start standing up for yourself, and stop being like walked on, especially, and not even just saying walked on by other people, but just a person that is just like, feel like they're just not getting their turn. They're not getting what is rightfully owed to them. All right, so merge these pieces of you and lose that perception that the duality within you makes you bipolar, or that, and I'm not saying that, like, because there's some people that may have, that do have mental issues and chemical imbalances, but the duality within you does, like, for my air signs, does not make you bipolar. It does not make you crazy. It might make you indecisive. It might make you hard to change your mind, or hard to make up your mind and to know what it is that you want in that moment, because there's two people, like, almost, it's like there's two people talking to you. And I feel like and I don't know why, like, I feel somebody probably needs to hear this, but I feel like we've been put too much placement into things being like, oh, you're crazy because you don't think this one way, when we have these air signs that are literally built on duality, because honey, you can see the good and the bad. You're not walking around with rose covered glasses like the world is all sunshines and rainbows. You're not walking around like the world is all sunshines and rainbows, because it's not, and you can see that and you feel that on an emotional, authentic level. And you're not crazy because of this, okay? Or you don't have, and it's not something that you have to continuously freaking hide. Like, I'm a Gemini moon, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm very positive, sometimes I might punch you in the effing face. You know, depends on how you come at me. All right? And that's something that's ingrained in you, all right? And that's not saying that you go off on toxic behaviors and you're not being self-accountable and you're not watching what it is that you're doing. It's saying that you're merging within yourself and you're not beating yourself up because you might be different from somebody that has an earth moon or a water moon or a fire moon, okay? Now, I hope that this video has helped everybody and they got everything that they need. If you need any help at all, or you need a reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. Everybody, please have a great day.